countdown for blast-off. X minus 5, 4, 3, 2, X minus 1, fire.
Just give me the device, Mervin. No, I don't care that it's not painted black. What? What difference does that make? He's not going to eat it. Just give me the thing, Mervin. If that's how you feel about it, then you can just stay up here for the rest of the day by yourself. I'll be in the basement working on my memoirs, doing something constructive with my time. Unlike you, Mervin, the only constructive thing you ever do is go to sleep, because your absence from the world is the only thing that contributes anything of worth to it. Finally, he's done with it. It amazes me what a simple clod like Mervin knows how to do. Where he learned how to turn a Hangman video game, a broken one at that, into a holographic synthesizer is beyond me. Somehow, I get the feeling there's more to our raccoon-speaking friend than he lets on. Nobody else on this planet could have pulled off such a feat. Yet he did it with almost a simple ease that defies explanation.
Strong words of praise coming from you. They's the first kind words I's heard you say about Mervin since you's been here. Since you think so highly of him, couldn't you give him a break and lay off the arguments for a while?
Says one who doesn't have to live with him. If you were confined with that maniac 24 hours a day, and with my mother as well, you'd be on a hair trigger yourself, Bunson. Now, let's get to work.
That's fine by me. The sooner we get this over with, the happier I'll be. I just want to catch that no-good Don Crook before something happens to one of us. So far, we's escaped anything serious. All the bandits done is steal, but it won't be long before someone gets hurt. Let's get this cloak and catch this thief.
As I promised, this gadget will allow you to accomplish your mission, Bunson. The interdimensional diamond disk is held within. The gadget, a reader for the disk, along with some personal modifications of my own.
Wait a minute, Orville. I was told Mervin yous wasn't allowed to be alone with that device for near second.
Simmer down, Bunson. Mervin was with me the entire time. He saw everything I did. He actually improved upon my work in that his fingers are smaller than mine, and he was able to create circuits I could not. This is his work, mostly. What I did was a final touch, if you will. Mervin knew how to get the device to power on, but he did not know how to power it off without obliterating your atoms. You would have become a hologram, but with his work alone, as soon as you shut the device off, you would have ceased to exist. Now, aren't you glad I'm around looking after your interests?
Said the glutton to the meal before he ate it.
Bosh! When you're at the cave, simply push the largest button on the pad. This will initiate the device's power cells. It will not turn you into a hologram at that point. A device this small, with a disk this powerful, will take a certain amount of time to power up. Until that time is reached, you will be exactly as you are now. Be careful. As I was saying, be careful, Bunson. If you go into the cave, mortal as you are now, and it should fall on you, you will die. But if the cave should crumble when you are a hologram, you will walk through the rock as if it were not there. The device takes 15 seconds to get to full power and convert you into a holographic state. After pressing the button, Do not enter the cave for those 15 seconds. If you do, you will be putting yourself at needless risk. You got that? 15 seconds. 15 seconds. 15 seconds. 15.
What on earth?
Not again. Mervin, you idiot. Don't you know this is your house? You're attempting to ruin your own house, Mervin. What do you think of that? How does this hurt me? I don't live here. I am a guest. A guest, mind you. A guest you are treating in a very inhospitable fashion.
What's going on, Orville? What's he trying to do up there?
That glad he's shoving his socks down the toilet and flushing it repeatedly. He's trying to flood his own house. What a moron.
Huh? Why?
All that water runs down here. All that water runs down into my room. My room in the basement, Mervin. Yes, it's an inconvenience for me to have to walk around in water. But who is the one who always ends up cleaning it up? You, Mervin! You're doing this to yourself! What a maroon!
Unbelievable. I'll go talk to him. All's right, Mervin. Mervin, you idiot! What do you do that for? I'm not Orville. I can understand you wanting to flush him, but look at me, Mervin. Eyes covered in toilet water. You beat everything, Mervin. You really do. You just beat every goddamn living thing on this entire planet. Mervin, I'm so angry with you. Look at me. Just look at me. I'm covered from head to toe with this toilet water of yours. You's a grown adult, Mervin. You's fully grown. Oh, you're on your own, living in a house you paid for, cooking your own food, paying your own bills, mowing your own grass and shoveling your own snow. And look at you, flooding your house with toilet water, and getting one of your best and your only friends covered in toilet water. You just beat everything. You've got duties, obligations, responsibilities to yourself, to me, to Orville. Yet what do? Go on talking like a raccoon and pulling stunts like this. How do you repay us for all we's trying to do for yous like this? I's half a mind to just go home and let you go after the cloak yourself. Simmer down. Simmer down, Mervin. I's half a mind to, but I's won't. I gave you my word that I'll do this thing. I'll get your cloak. But you's got to behave yourself, Mervin. You's got to. Mervin, you's better clean this mess up, because when I get back, I wants to see this house and Orville's room in pristine condition. If I don't, I's gonna take the cloak of hidden beauty and flush it down the toilet. You can spend the next 10 years searching the sewers for it, for all I care. Now, grow up, Mervin. Grow up. Orville, just leave that device by the door. I's gonna meet Lazar and Jingles at the cave's entrance a little later. I's got a gist of how the gadget works. If I have any questions, I'll call you on the way. But right now, I's got to shower. I's covered in toilet water. Well, Mervin, clean this mess up. I's got to go get your done cloak later. And I's not going to shower in a room filled with toilet water all over the floor. Clean it up, Mervin. Get this water out of here.
Typical. Chastises me for yelling at Mervin, then he goes and does it himself. I wonder if there's anything on TV. What's this? Well, whatever it is, it's got to be better than what's going on around here.
Of 17,000 men employed, 13,000 work underground. Let us join them on the air as the miners are lowered smoothly and safely to a depth equivalent to a 100-story building. Besides the miners who blast the coal, there are laborers, train crews, trackmen, carpenters, timbermen, electricians, pumpmen, bosses, and hundreds of others. At a breast or chamber, a mining machine cuts a slot 7 feet deep under the coal, so that dynamite placed near the top of the vein may exercise its maximum force. Where conditions prohibit the use of mining machines, hand methods are employed. The miner then drills a number of holes 7 feet deep. In each, with the aid of a wooden rod, he places several sticks of dynamite. The last stick in each hole contains an electric blasting cap, the wires of which he connects with each other and with a plunger magneto battery. An appalling stillness intensifies the suspense. He fires, and tons of coal burst nature's shackles of millions of years, eager to do man's bidding in home and industry. The coal is then loaded into mine cars, which, after being made up into long trains, speed en route to the shaft over a network of tracks, part of a vast underground railroad system. At their underground terminal, the loaded cars gravitate cautiously to the shaft. As the elevator reaches the bottom, one of the cars is placed on board. At a signal from the footman, the car rises with increasing speed to the surface, where we pick it up and follow it to the top of the tower or head frame, where it tips forward, discharging the coal into the foothouse. The preparation of coal begins with separating the large lumps from the mine run. This permits a closer and more careful inspection. The smaller coal passes through the screen, the larger lumps traveling over and onto moving picking tables, at which men are stationed to remove material of a doubtful nature. Another step in providing the best quality. Leaving the tables, the large lumps are broken to smaller sizes by revolving steel points. The coal, which passed through the screens, as well as that broken in the rolls, join in a gigantic conveyor line, which lifts it to the top of the breaker. Thus, it passes from the foothouse, where it has received preliminary sizing and cleaning. From the top of the conveyor, the coal gravitates to a screen with smaller holes than the previous shakers. Generous sprays of water accompany every step of preparation. The shaker is not crowded with coal. This ensures perfect sizing. The larger coal passes over and into a smaller roll, where it is further reduced in size. Having been carefully screened, each size of coal enters its particular cleaner or cleaners for the final removal of impurities. In this modern jig, coal is floated off by means of pulsating water, superinduced by a reciprocating plunger. The newest up-to-the-minute development is the Menzie cone. Entering the cone, the coal is spread by revolving arms. Here it meets strong upward currents of water, which are maintained at constant pressure. No sand or other material is introduced to contaminate the coal. A continuous flow of 8,200 gallons per minute, equivalent to 25 tons of water per ton of coal, floats the pure coal toward the discharge end, where it merrily cascades toward and over the dewatering shaker screens. Now, well sized and well cleaned, it is carefully conveyed to a storage bin or railroad car loading pocket. Here it rests momentarily before embarking on its journey to the consumer. Railroad cars en route to mines frequently pick up debris, which must be first removed before the coal is loaded. The drop into the car is reduced by the swinging loading chute. Again, the coal is washed. This is a simple operation, but it marks the greatest progressive step ever taken by any producer in the interests of its dealers and the coal buying public. The Glen Alden Coal Company has installed modern boxcar loaders. Here, when the car comes to rest, it is locked into position by a powerful mechanism. As the coal is loaded through the door, the car is slowly tipped to a steep angle as one end of the boxcar is loaded. The action of the cradle is thereupon reversed, so that the other end of the car may also receive an equal load. Each colliery maintains a modern and well-equipped sampling and testing station. Here, each car of coal is halted long enough to be boarded by experienced inspectors who take samples from many points on the car, taken not at random, but according to a scientifically determined plan. From this point on, the coal is subjected to careful laboratory tests to check sizing so it will meet the rigid requirements of householders. For this purpose, many of these analyses are conducted in equipment which has been specially designed for the testing of anthracite. The loaded cars then gravitate to the colliery yard, where they are made up into trains and moved to one of the large railroad distributing yards. From here, they speed their way north, east, south, and west to the thousands of dealers in as many thousands of communities. The Glen Alden properties are situated in the heart of the richest deposits of Pennsylvania anthracite, deposits which, because of their inherent burning qualities, mean more heat for less money. To this has been added the last word in scientific preparation. The result is the largest selling brand of solid fuel in America. Their day's work done, the underground force faces homeward. Here is that wholehearted personality that is born of rugged endeavor, as stalwart in character as rugged in physique. Glen Alden Coal Company provides for bathhouses, in which provision is also made for the safekeeping of street and work clothes, which are changed at the beginning and end of the day. Lighting equipment is returned to the attendant at the close of each day, so that it may be inspected and placed in condition. After stopping en route at the dressing rooms, the miners now find refreshment under the magic of liberal applications of soap and warm water. The close of the day finds our miners returning to their homes, anxious to meet their families. To them must come the satisfaction of having played an important part in bringing health and comfort to the 3 million homes whose winters become balmy summers through the use of dependable coal.
The bad news bandit has struck again, Jingles. This time he went after the town schoolhouse. He didn't take any money or any equipment. All he's said to have stolen this time were the school's entire supply of CDs and CD-ROMs. Who steals CDs anymore, Jingles? The Salvation Army can't even give them away. But this person stole every single one in the entire building. What could they possibly do with all those CDs, Jingles? They don't even make good frisbees.
I don't know, Lazar. I don't know. But there's something familiar about all of this. There's something, I don't know what, and I can't remember when or where, but there's just something about this situation that makes me think that. Hi-yas, Lazar. Hi-yas, Jingles. What's the good word today, cousins?
Don't you look all clean and proper, Bunson. You'd think you were on your way to church, not to go wandering through an old deserted cave.
I's just had a shower. Actually, two. Like you say, Lazar, I's all clean so I can go around in the dirt. The sooner we get this show over with, the happier I'll be. Just think, I could be home right now with Ginny, telling stories to the neighbors' children, me in my rocking chair, rocking back and forth, as the little tykes take their naps. I's turn on the radio, and I's listen to the news. But no, look at me.
I was all cleaned up with no place to go but in an abandoned mine. How did I get mixed up in all this stuff all over again? Bunson, what do you mean, again? Nothing. Nothing at all. Bunson, I've got this strange feeling that there's something you've withheld from us. Something you aren't telling us. Don't think I haven't noticed how everyone in town is completely without recollection of the last year. Yeah, we've got parts of our memories, but it seems you're the only one who remembers everything. At least, that's how it looks to me. You's just imagining things, Jingles. This bad news bandit has got all of us on high alert, seeing things when there's nothing there to see, hearing stuff when we's alone. That maniac has got all of us a little paranoid. Now, forget about all that memory trouble. We's got a mission to accomplish. If we are successful, we'll be able to get back to our normal lives and leave all this stuff behind us forever. Well, all right, but don't think this conversation is over with, Bunson. We'll get back to it eventually. That's fine. Okay. I've got the gadget with the interdimensional diamond disc in it. All I's got to do is push the big button on it, and 15 seconds later I's gonna be a hologram, immaterial, a living bundle of energy, whirling about without mass. Then I's gonna head into the cave, and once I go wherever the cave does lead, I'll turn the device off. I's then pick up to the object, the cloak of hidden beauty, and reinitialize the gadget. Afterwards, I'll walk quietly out of the cave with the cloak, and we's gonna catch ourselves a cat burglar. But you's got to make sure that nobody comes around this cave while I's in there. If this cave collapses while I's has this gadget turned off, I's gonna be in tomorrow's obituaries. Be sure it stays quiet out here, all right? Perfectly quiet. No sounds, no talking, not even a bird chirping. I's wants to live a long life. Used to hear me, a long life. I's don't want to be featured in the sequel to the premature burial. Don't worry, Bunson. We've got your back, 100%. Nobody will say a word out here for the entire time you're in there. You're as safe as can be. All right, let's do this thing. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Dickie, are you in the kitchen? Mustn't touch the cake I just baked.
Well, Mother, after all, no one really can resist a rich, moist cake made with a Betty Crocker cake mix. It's got that special homemade goodness, just begging to be eaten. Boy, I'd grab a slice of it, too. It's just as fluffy and moist as the cakes Betty Crocker and her staff make. In fact, Betty Crocker white cake mix is a favorite Betty Crocker recipe, already measured and blended. It contains famous soft-as-silk cake flour and premium cake shortening. All you have to do is add water and fresh eggs, and you get a fine, snowy white cake. A great big cake, too. In fact, 9 out of 10 homemakers in recent tests said Betty Crocker cake mixes with fresh eggs gave them bigger, taller cakes than the other cake mixes they tested. Betty Crocker cake mixes give you a full 1.25 pounds of cake mix. That's more than any other nationally sold cake mix. And remember, those fresh eggs added to Betty Crocker cake mixes help give that special homemade goodness. Try Betty Crocker cake mixes.
You, yes you, will love Gentle Ivory soap in this handy personal size, the toilet soap size. You know, you get 4 cakes of personal size ivory for the same price as 3 cakes of other leading toilet soaps. Like getting 1 cake free. And handy, look, fits perfectly in your soap dish and in your hand. Ideal for your complexion care. Change to regular cleansing and this personal size of pure mild ivory. More doctors advise it than any other beauty soap. In 1 week, you'll have that lovelier look, that ivory look. This pretty pink ribbon and bow tells you it's personal size ivory. Your best beauty buy is PSI, personal size ivory. Buy 4 cakes and save.
How did I ever get myself mixed up in something like this again? I've got to be more careful. I can't let even a slip of the tongue happen around anyone. The last thing this town needs is to remember everything that done happened last year, especially because I couldn't hold my tongue about it. But Jingles, he's onto something. He's different. Lazar, Ginny, the rest, they've only hinted that something was amiss, but Jingles, he's always been smarter than the rest. He also had a lot more exposure to Orville than anyone else as well. Not to mention he's the only one who spent time outside of this realm like I did. For whatever reason, he's remembering, and that ain't good. Not at all. If he remembers all he did, all that Orville forced him to do, I just don't know how Jingles will ever forgive himself. Even though it weren't his fault, still, that's a batch of memories he don't need to be living with. None of them do. It's better off forgotten in entirety. What's that up ahead? It looks like it's shining. It ain't no cloak, but it's just as fascinating. Well, this is it. This is where you put it all on the line, Bunson. One sound and it's lights out. There's no way on earth, if this cave starts falling around me, that I was gonna be able to get this gadget turned on in time to save my life. One sound and I was a goner. But I didn't come this far to be a failure. Let's see what's in this thing. Okay, Gadget, you've done your job. Now let me do mine. All's right. Let's see what's in this doggone chest. After all I've done gone through to get here, that cloak better be in here. What? What? After all that nonsense and gobbledygook, all those arguments with Orville, with Mervin, after that day with Ale, you've got to be kidding me. What is that?
No, it couldn't be. Not now. Fate wouldn't be so cruel.
After all that, to get all this way only to find...
Hey guys, how's it going today? What are you two doing out here? You guys not thinking of going in there, is yous? Lazar, I just told you how dangerous it is in there. Didn't you hear what I said?
Ali, please be quiet. Please, keep it down.
Ollie, you don't know what's going on. Please keep your voice down.
What? What are you two saying? I'm sorry, but I'm not feeling too well right now. I just came from the all-you-can-eat buffet at the Taco Bowl, and my insides, they is about to...
Ollie, please, no.
Okay, I's got everything. About time I turns on the gadget and get out of here, before I wears out my welcome. What on earth? Oh no.